And we are back, even though my headphones are still acting up on me. Welcome back. I know you can hear me even if I... Okay, there we go. So, where we last left off, Calder said something about a can opener, and Anton will turn to him and look kind of... Jeff, is Anton taller or shorter than Calder? So he will look down at his little brother and say, "There's no need to be aggressive. I'm only here to help. Our father asked me to help your friend in his time of need. There's no need to go about bringing up the past." I am Anton Cheval. He just barrels over whatever Calder was about to say and offers his hand to, let's say he offers his hand, you know what, let's say he offers his hand to Kreetha first. Excellent, okay, fair enough. Anton Cheval, no, at the moment his gauntlets are not on his hands. Let's do it! Give me that strength check. I actually have a character sheet for this guy. Hold on, he might roll worse. That's fair. But they shouldn't be muted now. Okay, so.
It was a sleazy dirtbag. Tried to touch Kreetha. That's not allowed.
He offered his hand. He offered his hand. And then Vic picked it up and failed the strength check, but like Cheval is not looking to like crush your hand, right?
Yeah. Ooh.
One more. What? You should not still be muted. I think we're okay now. I think that's just input lag.
Input lag.
Keep talking.
I'm gonna make sounds with my mouth.
Yeah.
Mouth
see?
sounds.
Gotcha.
Mouth.
That was on me.
Players.
It's fine. Let's keep going.
There we go.
So he shakes Vic's hand and looks up a little bit at Vic. Vic is probably like Vic is at the high end. You know, he looks up a little bit and he smiles, and it's not often that you can tell by looking at him. It's not often he sees someone that's physically like larger than he is, but he does not look intimidated. He just looks like, oh, hey, that's new.
Awesome. She's going to like look down on him. What does he smell like?
Oh, God.
Currently, he smells very much like armor polish.
She's going to like, you know, like let go of his hand and be like, "Can I look at your shit? It looks incredibly not used."
Oh, that is a very common misconception among those who don't know such things. These dents have actually been very expertly buffed out by my personal smiths. Here, take a look. And he'll show you a spot that's clearly been like banged back into shape.
Okay, I'm gonna like look over it pretty intensely.
Sure.
Can I would like to make a Smith's tools check.
Sure.
With my intelligence based.
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
Just like get a general feel if possible. Well, it's only a +8. That's fine.
Holy crap! The very first 20 of the day. What are you looking for? The armor is as you look close to it, the armor is definitely used, and it's definitely got like people who are hired to make sure that it looks like it hasn't been used.
Okay. Is it blued or is it enameled?
That is beyond my like out of character level of expertise.
Okay, so bluing or enameling armor is how you make that shit rust proof.
Okay.
So is it slightly blue armor, or does it have like fancy designs on it?
Got it. We'll say, being a rich person, it probably is enameled, has fancy designs on it.
She's just gonna like clap him on the back and be like, "You want to see my car?" and just drags his ass out of the tent.
It's over here. Walk, 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 walk.
I think that I am, and Barnabas will like, I'm sorry, but Anton is needed here.
But it would look so cool in the sky and the okay.
He's needed. And he turns to the map where the other shield dwarves have backed off. And he looks down and he says, "So you've all decided you're going to help out with this, yes?" And he looks at Anton first and Anton, steps back and says, "My father sent me here to render aid in any way that I can." And he looks at all of you. It's clear that Barnabas does not trust this guy. He says,
Can I insight check?
Yeah, give me an insight check. I like it.
Can I follow that with an also insight check?
Sure.
Can I roll with advantage because I probably know him better
Probably
than
know him
anyone?
pretty well.
Rika doesn't trust him either.
I'll give you advantage, sure. And in fact, hold on. We have an advantage that nobody's used yet, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh shit! I could have
17
taken that advantage on my strength.
You
check.
could have, that's true. But, you got to remember to use the bonuses you have. So I'm going to say that Echo and Calder, what are you looking for?
Are you going?
I am checking him based on what I know about him for, is he truly playing to Father's wishes, or is he doing something for himself here?
When you say he, you mean Anton?
I do mean Anton.
Okay, I'm rolling a deception against that. Because I can't just not oppose that.
Yeah. Echo is trying to read how much he actually cares. Like, as he's looking over the map and as he's looking around the room at allies, like, does he seem like he gives a shit about this actually going well?
I'm going to say that you both are, you have your eyes on him, but he looks like he really is here at the direction of someone else. In fact, he looks vaguely like he doesn't want to be here, but he's here at the behest of his father. Now, given your roles and his role, whether that's an affront that he is putting up is beyond you, but it seems to you that he is here almost against his will, like okay, so father says I have to do this thing, so I'm going to do this thing.
I'm willing to accept that as my character's read on the situation, because it does sound like a thing that Father would do, and this sounds like Anton's response.
Fair. So you're in this tent, and many of the shield dwarves vacate. And Barnabas will say, "All right, so it's important to let all of you in on what the situation is currently. And we can make our decisions from there. As you know, the Forge of Fury is under siege. There are several factions in play. The orcs control the obvious passages, both the main passage and the north passage, and the chimney that you all so very cleverly slipped down.
Yeah.
But the Duragar, the deep dwarves, have resurfaced and are holding the inside of the citadel, of the former dwarven, yes, the former dwarven capital that you found in there. He looks like it's a little bit, it's still a little bit like, it's been hundreds of years, but it's still a little bit painful to talk about, even though he wasn't there. The dragon, Nightscale. Our scouts say that he has been conducting raids of his own along the orcs' lines, but their archers drive him away. So
He's a
far
black. Blacks accept masters.
as far as we can tell, the forge is not currently in use, although we don't know why the Duragar have not began to use it.
They were.
They
They
were.
were using it at the time, yes.
And
When
then
we
you
came
came in,
upon them.
and now they aren't.
We didn't break it. We didn't touch the forge. Not really.
Then
We won't
there
know
is
more.
something
until
else. There is something else preventing them from making use of the forge.
We scared them quite badly. I think.
thoroughly.
But I don't know how. I would think that with us being gone, I mean, they have control of the forge. Why would you not use forge in middle of what is?
If I had to guess, I would say that every time they attempted to use the forge, they were attacked by orcs. And I imagine anytime the orcs tried to use the forge, they were attacked by dwarves. I don't know how long this stalemate could stand.
The use of the forge was quite loud and obvious. It's possible that they are not using it because it incentivizes the other to attack before the others are ready.
That's possible.
There are two more pieces of relevant information. One is that I have an army here, and we do not have a supply line. We have what we brought with us, and we can last for the next week, maybe 3, if I cut rations. But we have not found anyone willing to trade with us in this time, as of yet. But we've only just arrived. The second piece of information is that the orcs also seem to have no supply lines, but they seem to have no difficulty keeping themselves fed, and we don't know why. An orcish army of this size should have stripped the entire area around them in a matter of weeks, and yet they are still healthy when they fight with our forward squads, and they are not apparently in any danger of starvation. And with the winter coming, I would love to know how it is they are feeding their troops.
They are eating the flesh of something, but what? But it couldn't be the monsters inside.
That would last maybe a week.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
You've had a few clashes with them, right? They're all living, right?
Yes.
That's a good question.
That would be a way to avoid having to feed something, but
May I try
rather
rolling
extreme.
What do you want to roll?
an intelligence roll with my favored enemy orcs to see if I
Sure.
can come up with anything?
Take advantage.
Do I click that before or after? Because every single
before.
time.
Before
you pick up the die, click advantage, pick up the 1 die, and roll it.
So I'm doing a straight intelligence roll.
Sure,
correct?
yeah.
Why am I feeling so stupid? This is the first roll I've made in like 3
It's
weeks.
been a while.
It's not a save, it's just straight flat
Yes.
ability roll.
Ability,
Okay.
yep.
Fuck yeah! Lucky rat, bitch!
Okay, with a 20. Oh man, I was not intending to reveal this just now. Okay, with a 20. So you think, okay, orcs. Orcs are not known for having a lot of spellcasters, although some orcs, and this is Kreetha's line of thought, some orcs are clerics of Grumsh, right? You know those exist, but you're like, there are other, so there must be magic involved. There must be magic involved because they can't feed themselves. You know, you are a hunter. They cannot hunt that area without hunting it to extinction. There must be magic involved. Some orcs can be druids, and you knew a druid once when you were even younger than you are now. You knew a druid once who could create these sort of fist-sized berries, and those berries could feed a goblin for a whole day.
Wait, are we talking about good berries? 'Cause
You
I
are
have that
thinking
spell.
about that spell, and you're like, wait, I can do this. I could feed maybe not a whole army.
She stands forward. And I'm going to go ahead and cast that spell.
So Kreitha casts Goodberry, and 10.
And I have it in my hand.
No, you don't
and
have
I'm
it.
like-
There are 10 of them. They are apple-sized, spilling. Why can't I hold all of these good berries?
Onto
Suddenly,
the table, onto the map.
there are berries all over the table.
This is how they're
They are,
feeding.
again, about apple-sized, and they are clearly suffused with magic. Kreitha, what do you say?
This is how they're feeding their army. This is it. I had to think. But they must have druids. They must have magic users who know how to do this spell. I have known of orcs who can do this. It's not common, but they must know. One of these can feed me for a day. They just keep cast it and feed.
Calder will share a
berries.
look at Echo with Echo. We have received intelligence that orcs are working with Malar, or entity, or servants of Malar. Wouldn't these be like, he's a nature entity? Stand to reason that they would have druids and rangers in their ranks that would have such power.
It must be. I don't cast this often. Last time I think I cast this was, and she kind of holds her hands and winces. She said, with the dragon. Remember, that was my offering.
Yes, that is true. These are magic. They can sustain even a dragon. These orcs likely they would simply need one for every 10 orcs. Or just enough, or at least that's to feed the entire army. Or the most they would need is enough to ensure they don't starve and allow their meager normal supplies to suffice for them.
So they don't
But
have
still,
supply lines; they have suppliers.
That's still a lot of magic for orcs.
It's
That
also
does
a
not
weakness that
suggest
can be exploited.
one druid, 2 druid. That suggests a lot of druid. How many orcs do we think are there now? How many?
That is
How
a
many have
question
spoken?
that I can answer. We have been able to scout them out, and though we have lost scouts in the process, we can say there is somewhere between 1,500 and 200 orcs currently on the front line. We don't know whether others are coming. I
1,500
believe, 1,500 to 2,000.
Okay.
I believe that the Many Arrows tribe is waiting to see what happens in the first several days, weeks, months of this campaign. If the orcs take ground quickly, I do not believe that the truce of Many Arrows will hold.
Think about that then. I cast this 10 berries would maybe feed 1 to 1 soldier a day.
How many times can you cast this?
It depends on, I personally, if I really spent the energy and the cost of making this spell, the physical elements, everything, I could possibly cast it 7 times a day. But that would be the only thing I do. I wouldn't be able to use my magic for anything else.
That is 70
But
soldiers that you have fed for a
still-
single day.
Yes.
Without
but that
any
still
external
tells
supplies.
me, that still tells me
those are
70 soldiers for 1 druid. How many druids?
Well, these are soldiers. Like Barnabas was talking about cutting rations. If they're only
Yes,
feeding them
but
every other
it's an
day,
orc.
that spreads it a lot better.
It's an orc. You're only feeding, but still, that's a lot of magic users.
A lot.
For orcs. I'm trying to
I-
tell you, these are orcs. They don't do that.
There must be something
This
more
is-
to it. Yes.
There's something we're definitely
Simply
missing a detail.
casting the spell is not a sufficient answer, I agree. It would
And they're not going
require
to
it would
just use
require
that spell.
one spellcaster of at least your skill for every 7 or 70 for every 70 orcs. That would mean at least
We're talking about
30
100.
or 40 of them.
And we're
That's
talking
too
about-
And I've
many.
definitely
We're talking
That
about
is-
druids and rangers. You know they're not spending all of their magic on this.
I agree.
Unless
They're
if they were
not.
supposed to.
They would have to use it for other things.
There must be more to it than
Because
that. I agree.
We would.
But
we are
you have a
talking
very
so-
good
so
point,
far.
and this is a thing that we should absolutely look into.
We need
Then
to
there
Find out
is-
how many have- That's
but
terrifying.
I hesitate to bring it back,
Orcs
but because I
with that
have
much
I have soldiers, I must bring it back to our own supply lines. Now, the
Well-
scouts that met you in Mirabar have been attempting to secure supplies through traders. So far, without success. I have it under relatively good authority that some of you have made connections since the last time that we adventured together, and I think that perhaps calling those in might be helpful. Or simply traveling to Mirabar and providing a new face to our plea. Many times in Mirabar, the Undercity is happy to help dwarves, but the Overcity might not see this as something that is their problem. And he turns up to Anton and says, I asked you to make some inroads, but you said you were not suited to the task. And Anton just kind of stands there. He doesn't say anything in response.
Calder will stand a little taller. I have made some progress with connections with the Lord's Alliance. This is exactly the sort of thing they would not balk at sending aid with. Food, supplies, medicine, and material. These are ways that nobles can assist that doesn't get their hands dirty, so they'll like that.
I have a question.
Yes.
Well, I have made some allies as well, including we made allies of those who work for Xanathar.
I don't know if we should be pulling on that particular string right now.
All I say is he like money, and I have money, and money is nowhere near as useful as food.
I will not turn away any avenue of help at this time. Use your best judgment.
That's all to the east. What about to the west? Icewind Dale or the Battlehammers?
So far, the orcs have not attacked in that direction. They appear to be coming directly south, and the Battlehammers have not been answering my messages so far. My clan is not particularly in favor just now. It's possible that he is seeing how I fare when put to the forge, as it were. If we can maintain, if we can be victorious, the Battlehammers may join, or they may continue on their own way. That is their choice and not mine.
There's no middle road of not joining but sending aid. There's no response you've gotten from them yet.
I'm afraid not.
Well, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a few people contingent here from Neverwinter, and Neverwinter has ports and resources.
It does.
I have a few friends in the city, and obviously they can make the trip here, so I can reach out there.
We are not in danger of starving anytime soon, but it would be very, very appreciated as winter is coming.
Very good.
I can offer. Not often. I don't know what we will be doing here at your behest, but when I can offer more. And she picks up the berry as much as can be needed. It is more than just it helps heal a little bit as well. It's so maybe
As you picked that up and looked at the table, like Echo has pocketed one of the berries since the conversation has been
It's a
happening.
big bulge in your pocket. It's not a small piece of fruit.
Are you happy to see me, or is it a good berry?
Smallest pockets in the
It's
world,
got
too.
sleeves.
Tiny, tiny pockets.
So, what happens next? Where are you all at as far as like what your next steps are?
Well, it sounds like we need to secure supply lines. So
We should do. So I think the next support is grab our payment, make way to Mirabar,
and make some friends.
make some friends.
The kobold in the tent will step forward. And it was easy to miss him. He's shorter than Echo is and has been just observing this whole time. And says, "My name is Tarxus. I represent the Sunless Citadel. And we have an interest in Nightscale."
Ah,
Because of course you do.
Calcrix is a mistress, but some of us prefer maybe to live in a place a little bit more natural than an austere temple built to a red dragon that is now held by a white dragon. So some of us may be interested in having a conversation with Nightscale and offering our services as a clan. If perhaps Nightscale would be willing to aid in our military endeavors. But there are no kobolds. There are no kobolds who have volunteered as now to enter into negotiations with Nightscale. You, as I understand it, have encountered the creature before. Perhaps you could open the door for us?
We escaped with our lives, if that's what you mean.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Yes, you escaped with your lives. By the grace of the great Nightscale, you escaped.
That is the minority of the experience with Nightscale.
Well, the way you were telling it, Nightscale had some sort of arrangement with the Dwergar before you all showed up, right? Like she's willing to have underling. He's willing to have underling?
I think
he is willing to have underlings.
I mean, we don't know you are kobold, and kobold are known for serving dragon. I just
working with dragons, but yes.
You would be serving him. Let's be honest.
Yes.
Nightscale is not the type you work with. This is not a relationship. You serve Nightscale.
Have you ever talked to or met another dragon that wasn't Calcrix?
Absolutely not, no.
And Echo starts digging in his bag. Pulls out a book.
It's going to go well.
That is like covered in scale skin, and hands it over to this kobold and says, "I haven't been able to get much use out of this, but I think you would find it enlightening." And he hands him the book they got from the belly of the Sunless Citadel, which is a tome on dragons and dragon lore.
What a callback.
Your whole time.
What a callback. Absolutely fantastic. He will take it gratefully.
Oh.
Echo, I am personally offended you never offered that to me.
But
it's not like
we've been a little busy.
Echo is not with us. Echo did not know dragon. I didn't meet Echo until later.
Are we heading down to the wonderful town of Mirabar? Is that the plan?
I think we should set out tomorrow morning.
Fair enough. Take your long rest. I will apply it right now on the combat module.
Well,
Although I don't think it
Yay.
matters.
It
what's
only
weird-
matters to me and to Calder.
It matters to me.
I do want to spend the rest of the day here at the camp getting a feel for it. Echo wants to check in with his family, and he wants to check. He's waiting for, like, once this meeting of the minds is over, he's going to try to signal Vic and Barnabas to hang back a bit. And
Okay.
and
Vic left the tent
ah,
when she was trying to walk Anton out. Has not been here for this entire conversation. There has been
okay.
in the very, very far background.
all right. Then once the meeting of the minds is over, Echo is going to try to bring Barnabas over to where Vic has started setting up our
Vic
camp
is
area.
currently flying circles in the sky with paying dwarves. We will talk a little bit
Yeah.
more about that. Dwarves, as you come out of the tent, are daring each other to go up on the flying death trap.
I'm gonna add some points here. She has modularized parts of her cart, so there is like a little bit of like there's like a fire pit going on, but it's obviously like an electric fire. She has quick trained somebody to
Of course.
cook on it. It's really simple.
It
It's
is
like a normal
frying grill.
fire.
It's just all the heat is very even, so you don't have to move it around as much. Yeah.
Is Little Ben like turning hot
Little
dogs?
bit is
over the-
helping. It is bad. Nobody is happy about it. Vic is flying the thing. Lou is still like standing there, like holding the ticket, is taking tickets and taking money. So that's just happening in the background. It's very like the scene is up here, but in the background you can kind of see the bullshit happening. Vic is making money because Vic is like sitting in a room and talking about stuff. Is not making money.
Passive income. It's all about the passive income.
Yes.
All right, so I assume that once we step out of the command tent, we can see that Vic is still busy with the rides.
Kreitha's going
There's
to
like-
want
there's like
to
a small
before the long rest. Kreitha wants to cast Animal Messenger.
Okay. Who is Kreitha trying to
Does
contact?
Anton do anything to interact with Calder?
Not in the slightest. In fact, Anton seems to have his own orders, and the moment like the meeting of the minds is done, you will note that he like takes a note from Barnabas and then leaves.
That sounds about right.
Almost as though the other adventuring party has their own other adventuring arc to go on.
I'm sure that'll go well for everyone.
I'm sure it'll go great for absolutely everybody.
All right, Kreitha's sending a messenger to.
She's actually going to cast Animal Messenger twice, so she's going to be kind of busy,
Sure.
right? What kind of flying creatures have I seen around
So
me?
this is a forest, so there are all sorts of birds, robins and songbirds, and corvids always.
Yes, I'm looking for corvids. I'm
yeah, no
looking
problem.
for birds that can fly long distances.
Yeah, totally. So you'll be able to find a raven that you're able to speak with.
All right, so I'm going to call 2 ravens to me.
We'll call it
basically.
Matthew for no reason whatsoever.
No reason whatsoever. And the other one's going
No
to be
referential reasons.
what? Like,
What,
oh
not
my-
Yunin and Hunin?
I do like Hunin and Moonin, but okay. So the first one I am going to send, and I am going to describe, and don't expect me to remember the names of anybody,
Totally.
Rob, because I can't.
That's fair.
But I am going to describe the is he a goblin? No, he wasn't a goblin. Who was it? Like the
Jarlaxle?
the
The Drow?
well, no, that's the second one I'm doing.
Okay.
The first one is the what's the word? Gang, the gang
Hobgoblin?
leader, the one that I was introduced
Orker?
to as
The Hobgoblin?
Horker.
the hobgoblin.
Got it. Sure.
Yes.
You send a message to Horker. What are you going to say to him?
So Horker's message is going to be opportunity for for much
could never back
profit,
Okay.
trading dwarven precious metal for food for army. Please respond, whatever the fuck my name was.
Whenever
At
you
the
did that.
time.
Fine. Okay, you send it. Second message.
Second message is going to go to Jorlax. And this message is going to be, this may be an opportunity for you to assist me,
This is going to be so
and
funny.
I will owe you one.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. Sounds
And
good.
that's what I send.
Excellent. Okay. So you send those two messages. The two birds go off and do their thing, and we will talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah, so that's 50 miles per 24 hours for a flying messenger. I have no idea how many
It's
miles
fine.
it is.
I got this. No, I got this.
But yeah, you do your thing. But I wanted to get those in because Kreitha is going to do the best she can with what she got. And
Totally.
yeah, Kreitha is going to be the weirdo who's going to use some of her unasked for money to feed a fucking army because
So,
she's like, what the fuck
to
am I
be
supposed to
clear-
do with this clunks of metal?
Because I didn't mention this before, the sack has 300 pieces of platinum in it.
Uh-huh. She hasn't counted. She has no idea what these sums of money
The moment you open the
mean.
drawstrings of the sack, you're like, this isn't gold.
Yeah, she would have never even seen platinum.
So yes, that is 3,000 gold pieces worth of platinum to distribute amongst you. So yeah, you've got an awful lot of money. I'm gonna go ahead and put that into the party. How many toss of coins do I have right now?
You have, if you want to get them in now.
I will
the
say,
reward.
Kreitha is kind of thinking of not going to Mirabar.
Okay, if that happens, let me know
Partly
what she does.
because
Currently.
she's doing her thing, and partly because fuck it, she's not flying again. So
Right.
there is those two things. So she does have to kind of discuss this with the rest of her
Sure.
party members. But
Em,
I may be splitting the party just because she won't get on that thing again. I will say that.
Em, how many toss of coins do we have?
Will not.
4.
Psychonthrope just gave us one.
That I just counted it.
Okay.
4, 5.
I put it all onto, okay, fine. I put it all onto the party sheet. I'm not going to disperse it yet, but that's where we're at. Yes.
Real talk. Above the table, is Vic getting any of that
Money.
I will
Anything.
disperse the money at the end of the game, unless you all spend it like right now. Because that's a good question. What do we think?
Well, I think, Kreitha doesn't want to accept it, but it's being offered to her and she's going to use it in the future. Calder is owed whatever portion, was supposed to go to Calder.
Mhm.
Vic wasn't at the Forge of Fury. Echo wasn't at the Forge of Fury. So, Echo won't say no if later both Calder and Kreitha want to divide it amongst everybody so that we all have a lot of spending money to help schmooze in Mirabar, if that's how we want to play it.
Okay, that's fair. I'm just going to leave it in the party sheet for now. And
So, Anton left. Kreitha is talking to a bunch of birds.
that's normal.
Echo gestures, asks Barnabas if, can you come with me for a bit? A little. We definitely need to, Vic has a certain thing that you and her should touch base about once she's done doing the ride thing. But there is also someone I would like you to meet. And if he's still waiting outside the tent, Echo will introduce Barnabas to his uncle.
his uncle looks down at Barnabas and says, "Yes, King Barnabas, very nice to meet you for the first time ever." Puts his hand out. Barnabas shakes his hand and nods at him in respect.
Yes, for the first time. Awkward.
Is Praza being honest or is he being sarcastic?
Give me an insight check. It's hard to tell with your uncle.
That's a good time.
It's hard to tell with him.
Insight check the DM.
You're pretty sure he's being sarcastic. You're pretty sure these two know each other. You're pretty sure.
With the insight check, do I know, like, can I get a read on whether or not Barnabas knows that not only is this Echo's uncle who's here with the circus, but he's also a member of Many Arrows? It's like, does that seem to be above board?
Even with a 21, you will get that there is a mutual respect there, but you're not going to get anything more detailed than that.
Okay. So came here with the troop, with the tents, lots of supplies, I hope.
Some, and up the possibility for others.
Yeah. Me and my group are taking off tomorrow back towards Mirabar to see about supplies and supply lines and all that. So if there's anything in particular there that you and the troop need, please let me know before I head out tomorrow about that.
You needed more alchemist fire, yeah? Yeah?
Do we really want to be?
You need it for your act, right? All right, alchemist fire. Alchemist fire would be nice, yeah.
Who's doing pyrotechnics now for a traveling?
You haven't met Trinity yet.
When did we ever do pyrotechnics in a traveling show?
Well, we have someone who knows their way about it, let's just say.
I've been away for maybe 4 months max, and you already have new acts? I'm impressed.
Gotta change it up, or else you get stale.
Yeah, so Echo will... I mean, until Vic's, like, done for the evening with the rides, we'll go and hang
I will
out
take
with
as
her.
much of the dwarves gold as they will give me. Like, I'm gonna state that I will take as much of their money as they have accidentally brought close to me without stealing it.
That's not nearly enough.
Capitalism.
We'll say you pick up 27 gold worth of, oh my god, I'm flying money.
Okay.
So go ahead and add that to your own inventory.
I'll be adding that. Give me a sec. 27. Shit.
Now I know that this group tends to take a long time to go places, but if heading to Mirabar is the next leg of this, we should start by figuring out whether or not Kretha is going to go.
Yeah.
And heading on out. Because again, I know we love to talk a lot before we move places, but we are coming up on a spot where a potential encounter might happen. So I would need to know if we are heading to Mirabar or not tonight.
Kretha is probably going to like let's say that everybody does come up together and Kretha is going to be standing there and she still has like the leftover pieces from her little rituals to call the birds and they have left. Then she looks at her friends and she goes, I think I might stay here and wait for you to return. What I can do best here. I've already sent out a few inquiries. I will be honest, I would prefer one of us to be here to keep an eye out on things. And she looks at Echo and then looks back at everybody else. She's really not that subtle for a spy.
I never got to do my thing, but
We shouldn't be
going to fly ever again. I'm sorry. And she looks at Vic. You are such good craftsman and many things and very cool, but I cannot no. I would take land route from now on.
Calder will say the Dwarven word for fear to summon the boom of flying.
And she just nods.
We shouldn't be in Mirabar too long. Flying back.
No, I did. You are going to do your trading and your things. And to be fair, most of you, that's something you do much more frequently than I. So I think that it's best that I stay here and wait for my birds to return and help as much as I can around here with the king and whatever I can do. I can spend some time doing stockpile of goodberry for them. And that is at least something. Or if they need me to scout, I am very sneaky.
You are one of the most instinctively selfless people I know.
So if you are all right with that, I will hold you to the word that you will return, and you may hold me to the word that I will be writing. There?
You can even be right here. And he kind of gestures over to the circus tents. This is my uncle, by the way. This is Kretha. She's my sister now.
Your uncle is very tall.
Oh man, such a big hug. Such a big hug. The moment Echo says
very
sister,
huggy.
this man is almost as tall as Vic is. This man is 6'5", probably.
Yeah.
Picks you
The
up,
image in my head is
swings
fantastic.
you around, and goes, "Welcome to the family." Any family member of Echo's is necessarily a family member of mine.
Oh, good. Can I?
I'll turn to Echo.
I don't like
If he hugs
flying
me, I'm
no more.
teleporting him 100 feet in the sky.
You are kind
don't
of
do that.
flying for a second. Durgadin's like, "Who?"
No, it's like, ark.
He refrains from tossing you up, though. So folks who are it sounds like Kretha is staying.
Yes.
Kretha's saying, I want to, at some point before the long rest, get Vic to look over Barnabas for any
Yeah,
of those
oh, for
weird
sure.
side effects.
Yeah,
And I imagine go ahead.
Vic will eventually land. I'm assuming that this is happening and stuff. Vic will land and be like, "We're taking a 5-minute break." And to the remaining, I'm assuming what she'll do is she'll take the coins out of the bucket as a way to indicate how many tickets are left. So
Sure.
that way, there's 8 coins left, which means there's 4 more rides type thing. She's gonna kind of head over in that direction, make eye contact with Echo, be like, "I know we had a meeting that we had to do a thing, but people, person that's almost the same height as me."
Vic, it's my uncle.
So
Professor, this is Vic.
He likes to hug.
He does not attempt to hug Vic, although he does offer a very hearty handshake.
Vic is wearing armor and would prefer if they didn't get crushed because it's metal.
Just
Thank you.
the Full Metal Alchemist 2 muscly people doing the
Oh,
hand.
that's with the sparkles and everything. That definitely happens. It's a handshake.
No, now I
On
really have a
your
picture in my head.
This handshake has been passed down for generations.
Through the Armstrong family for generations. Vic visually looks like the furrier version of fucking Colonel Armstrong's sister, who looks exactly like Colonel Armstrong.
A little bit more hair, but yeah.
A little bit more hair.
Same
But,
mustache,
yeah.
but yeah, you're good.
So
Yeah,
who? Gail.
Move Barnabas to some, I guess, a bit more private setting in a tent somewhere and be like, Vic's an expert on werewolves. He got decursed. Can you double check for any side effects, please?
What Vic is gonna say, yeah, you guys were talking about stuff. I wasn't paying attention. I can watch over him for the next couple of days if you guys are going off and doing things.
You don't want to come trade? In Mirabar, buy stuff, get things, or did you get what you needed while we were there the first time?
I will give you a list, but I don't do people well unless they're giving me money.
This is not going well right now. I'm just giving some foreshadowing. This is not going well right now.
We have 2 guys, we're splitting the party again, and we know this is a bad idea.
This is not going well right now. That's my hint. I'm just throwing it out there. It's fine.
That's okay.
Okay, out of character.
fine,
What if,
it's just
what if
the
we
rest of the
just
party.
send Anton? Just Anton goes to Mirabar.
Yeah,
with all
just
the zombie
Anton.
lists and- no. All right, no.
I intend to bother.
So I don't mind watching over Majesty about this type of a thing, but it's like I have a pitch for you. There's I don't necessarily need anything in Mirabar that I can think of at this current moment. If you want me to do some things with the ingots that were passed on, this is to also Jeff, I guess, if Calder's in the area, like, I can do some things with that, like significantly some things. But I don't necessarily feel like I need to go to Mirabar. There's no like disembodied voice talking to me in my head that says I have to go.
Do you often have disembodied voices in your head telling you where to go?
Above the table, side note, Vic comes from the Feywild. I've been taking that as I can break the fourth wall occasionally.
So was that in character or not?
In character, there's no disembodied voice telling me what to do. Pause for waiting to see if there was going to be a disembodied voice that told me anything. Nobody said shit.
We do have a long rest before now and leaving.
No,
though,
I
so
am
maybe-
letting you make this very consequential decision all by yourself.
Okay.
I made it first.
So,
But I do have one last thing, just because he said the thing earlier, and I'm worried about it. Echo is going to, in the evening, crawl all the fuck over all of the rigging and all of the places in this circus tents that he used to hide in when he was a kid
sure.
to make sure none of the goblin kids stowed away.
Give me an investigation check.
Can I aid?
Sure. So take advantage on that investigation check.
So that
All good? Yeah, you're as far as you can tell, nobody stowed away.
Okay.
So,
Go to sleep.
seems to me
well,
like Calder and Echo. Go ahead.
I would like to do a thing.
Do a thing. What do you got?
First, follow up with Sven. Give me my stuff back, please.
So, yes. It's been like minutes at the moment. So you're going to do your long rest. You'll get your thing back from Sven. That's fine.
Sure.
The
Just making log that I get that stuff back. That's all I care
the
about.
orb that he gives you back can be commanded to release daylight level light, and it always has a light spell on it. So it's like a little crystal orb that creates light and can be used to create actual daylight.
When you don't have a light priest.
As for the potions, there are 2 potions of healing and 1 potion of hill giant strength.
The 2 potions I have is okay. The 3 liquids are separated in 3 separate layers. That's the Hill Giant Strength one.
Yeah, 2 of those are healing potions, probably different denominations, and 1 of them is a hill giant strength potion. Go ahead and relabel them, and if you don't use them now, I will change them in your inventory before next game.
And we have a crystal orb of daylight.
And you have a crystal orb of daylight, yes. It's a minor magic item. It doesn't have any attunement. And it requires a mental command. It's easy.
Very useful middle finger to vampires.
It's very much a middle finger to vampires, yes. So you get your stuff back from Sven. So it sounds like Calder and Echo are heading out.
Calder would make a
Heading out.
passive effort to get the broom and like invisibility, like stalk Anton for a little bit before returning.
Wait, the
Like not like a
the
basically
broom?
learning where he like
Just like where his tent
the,
is.
Oh no,
and...
like the broom is like is a piece of equipment. So if I go invisible while holding it, it's
That's
also
true.
invisible.
Yes, that is true. It will also go invisible. Yeah, you follow him around a little bit. You find a couple of things. First off, his party does not seem to be in the current camp.
That's him not being in the camp. That's a detail that I can file away. And that's okay.
Yes, he is in the camp. His party does not seem to be there. He clearly has his own tent. And at the moment, he just walks around being smug all the time. Like, that seems to be his thing right now. Just so smug all the time.
I'm going to have a before I leave, I will put a static illusion of just the murmuring whispers of Albrecht saying disapproving things on his tent, and it will be there for an hour, and then I'll leave. And I'll hold that concentration for the next hour.
So petty and so good. Yes, okay. I love it. So,
before Echo leaves in the morning,
yeah,
he will ask Kretha and Barnabas to give him back his extra holy symbols that he lent out to them. Can I have the coins back?
There you go.
Thank you.
Most certainly.
Vic has spent a good portion of the night attempting to remodel the cart so it can handle one less broom, so she can pass that broom off to Echo.
It won't be able to hold the same amount of weight that it did before, obviously, but yes, that is a thing you can do.
It's okay. I've been working with Little Ben. Little Ben can drive the truck and do the rides.
Echo's like, oh, yeah, okay. I mean, I was just gonna like piggyback on the back of Calder's, but this will work too. Thank you.
Okay.
When Echo gets on a broom, he does the word, so it's like hovering like 3 feet in the air. He hops. He's like standing on it like a surfboard. He's not sitting on it.
Of course he is. Of course he is.
Why would
The
he
most
sit on
extra
it?
player character I've ever known. Of course he is.
He does
So
that. He
he's-
raises it up. He falls back so that his ankles and his feet are holding him on. Like he starts practicing with it, like only like 8 feet up to like see how he can like maneuver on this thing. He's a performer. He's literally an aerial acrobatic. Like this is what he does.
All right, this will be fun.